Hey, welcome to a new episode. In this lesson we're going to be looking at the mask input node. So let's just pop that on screen for us right now. We need to first click use nodes, delete those guys and add input image mask. There we go. And we just drop that on. Let's have a look at this. Control up arrow, nice and big. Okay, so as we can see, the mask node is an input node because it has nothing on the left hand side, and it's got a grey dot, so we know that that will affect the factor type output, which we can use to plug into any factor or numerical value socket. Now we have this little drop down menu which is currently empty, and anti-alias, feather and scene size and motion blur. Okay, so all that aside, let's see how we can actually use this. And to use it we have to use a different section of Blender to put the map to create the masks that we're going to use, and we do that in both the UV image editor, and if I change this to the movie clip editor, we can use it in here as well. Okay, so to use it we simply come here and change the view to mask, and in the movie clip editor we have to have an image or a movie in the actual scene for it to work. So if I just throw in any old image, open clip, now you can see we have a list, and where it says tracking in the movie clip editor we can just swap that to mask, and you can add the mask to your movie clip. But we don't need to do that because we're not doing a movie in this episode. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's open up an image. That's surprising. Open desktop. I'll pick the one I want to use, which is this one. Open image. And if I go Control and up arrow to bring this full screen, now you can see our image is just a balcony taken at night, and let's say for instance we want to turn this into a daytime shot. Easy enough, we've got a nice simple mask outline to use. So let's create the mask, and I'm not going to go full on into creating the masks because it's not a mask making tutorial. I just want to have one there to show you how to use the nodes. But anyway, here in this new section, just click new, and now we're ready to draw. So start at the bottom corner, and we need to go in an anti-clockwise direction. So if I hold down Control and just click, and that puts our first point in. Click there again, and that draws the line. Click around this bucket on the side of this building here. Click, click, and scroll out a bit so I can see the click. There we go, and just double click to close the loop. Now if I grab this corner I can just tidy the mask up a little bit. We will obviously do a proper video detailing how to use masks, but for now I'm just going to draw this out quickly so we have something nice to look at with the end result. It's not too bad. There we go. And normally I would add a mask and cut these dark corners out, but I'm not going to. We don't need to in this particular episode because it's not what the lesson is about. Okay, so back to our mask node. I'm going to control up arrow and bring this to the thing. Now to use the mask we're going to need a couple of images, so Shift A, add input image, duplicate it, Shift D. Just move that out of the way, bring those next to each other. And the first one, I'm going to bring that image back in. And the second one, I'm going to open a new image on my desktop. I want this daytime shot, so open image. There we go. Lovely. Now we need to combine these two images, so Shift A, add color mix. And we're just going to drop those two together. Now the mask I'm going to plug into the factor, and this mix node, connect to viewer and turn on the backdrop. Now it does get a little bit big because of the size of the image. But you'll notice there is nothing actually happening, and that's because we need to choose our mask from the drop down menu. And there we go, mask, and as you see nothing happens because this is a bit of a bug with the mask node. You have to turn on the actual masking. Now so far not looking great, and the reason for this is the mask is set to scene size, and the scene, if we control and up arrow, the scene is set as our camera resolution, which is a 1920 by 1080. It's at 50% of the scene size, so our mask is being incredibly small compared to our image. So what we need to do is adjust the mask resolution to the size of the image, or we can go to scene size and manually change it to fixed, and you'll see if I can move my nodes up. Now we have a X and Y value, and we can change those directly to the size of the image. And to do that we need to just find out what the image is, and it's a 4K render, and I know the Y is 4608 by 3456. You can see the mask now fits perfectly. Let's go back to full screen. Control up, and there we go. Now we have another option here. We can anti-alias that just to smooth off those edges a little bit. Let's let that composite. It's taking its time. It really is slow with this image because for some reason my computer doesn't like to handle huge images, and that's just, well, one of those things. Okay. Now, the last option is motion blur, and we don't really need to use that because it's a still image, but if you were to use a movie clip, you could turn on motion blur, and using the shutter speed, samples and the shutter speed, you can use the mask node to simulate the motion blur of your footage, and that will just help it blend in that bit better. Okay, we're just finally getting the final composition there. Lovely. Okay, so that's that. And that's really all there is for the mask node. I hope that was useful for you. We'll take a look at something a little bit different in the next episode. So I look forward to seeing you then. Take care. Goodbye for now. And if you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe so that you can catch each episode as it comes along. And don't forget, drop us a comment and visit our social medias, of course. And also, if you wish, you can help support us on Patreon, and we will throw some free gifts your way, and also we will hit you up with some live streams and answer your questions there if you're willing. In the meantime, I will say goodbye and see you in the next video.